Islamism, praise Allah, honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, honors to the founder of the Moorish Science of America, honors to that Prophet Noble Drew Ali for those strong divine lessons to keep your structure and our hearts and minds and conduct to learn to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Honors to Brother Marcus Messiah Garvey Bay, the John the Baptist return. Honors to all the harbingers and forerunners of the leadership of the Moorish Science of America. All those who are living according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Honors to all sheiks and adepts, sheikesses, all divine titles that has bestowed upon any man who has the honor to become a sheik or sheikess. Honors to all those who are in the chat, soon to be coming. All those who are listening, who just want to listen to the lessons. Today's show is called The Meaning of Life, Part 2. This one's going to be more lengthier than the other one. And I just want to let the people know that the truth does not change or pass away. Meaning of life is about growing and learning and bettering yourself every time you make an error. There's different words that they use from time to time, and they tell people, oh, well, nobody's perfect and blah, 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 blah. Okay, so if no one's perfect, then how do you explain the foundation on architect, the frame and all of that? Everything is symmetrical. Everything is perfect. Now, these are divine minds are the ones who are architects, past, present, and future, whether they're Moorish. So, anybody who could do something that's out of the ordinary, such as, culinary arts, they have the taste and can be able to duplicate or replicate a specific dish. That's perfection. That is what Allah has bestowed upon the brothers and sisters to have those talents. A lot of those talents are being given at birth, and later on being manifested through the hard works. But at the end of the day, we recognize our talents, but yet and still we choose things of the world that's folly. We don't enhance our talents. We're not being uplifted about our talents. And if we have a talent and there's some jealousy and envy, then there's no point of being around that person, because all they're going to do is intoxicate the situation. And when they intoxicate the situation, they make things harder for people to grow. That's why certain people cannot be around other people when they're trying to be creative. Because all it is just negative energy. Negative energy is what takes away from a person from being able to create something and to do something good according to righteousness. So, I acknowledge the people in the chat, Islam. I'm going to give y'all a shout out when I get to demonstrate. Islam, I see y'all in the chat. I see y'all. Islam. So, we all have to uplift each other. Mainly brothers. Man to man. Uplift your brother, man. You know what I'm saying? He's got a good talent. Let him know where he stands. sisters need to uplift each other. You know what I'm saying? Because all we see is too much hate amongst ourselves, within ourselves. The media, that's the one that dictates us how to eat, how to think, how to drink, and what to do, and all this other stuff. But yet and still, we're all lost in the sauce. We have no idea because we've been indoctrinated for so long to the point where we don't even know who we are anymore. Islam, I see y'all in the chat. Islam, I see y'all. Praise Allah for y'all. But I want the brothers and sisters out there to understand that the conditions that are being put upon our people, whether it be here in America or abroad, that we're only subjugated to one thing. And that's that one thing only, is that you're only entitled to do one thing and one thing only. And especially if you're in China, forget about it. You only can have one child. That's why a lot of the Chinese are coming over here to the USA, because they can have as many children as they like. People need to understand the difference between mind control and free thinking. Free thinking allows you to unfold on things that's not true. And when you unfold on things that's not true, you tend to see things for what they truly are. But yet still, if you was to tell that same person something, they would be kind of like, well, I don't know about all of that. But if you could talk to someone who was an open mind, they'll look at you like, wow, I never thought of it like that. For instance, the Bible talks about helpmate and all this other stuff. Okay, he was given to Adam as a helpmate. Okay, well, a woman is not always a helpmate to the husband. The husband is also a helpmate to the wife, and I'm gonna explain why. The husband assists the wife. He assists with the chores. He assists with the duties of the household. He assists with the children. You see what I'm saying? Husband must support wife and children. That support doesn't always mean fiat currency or dollar bills. It means that, husband, can you go pick up dinner? I gotta go pick up. Our son was at the doctor's office and I didn't get a chance to cook. Can you pick up something? And when you pick up the rest of our children, can you get this for me? Please, thank you. And you know what I mean? And the wife is grateful. Praise Allah. But when you have that type of understanding and that type of love, there's no need for misunderstanding, because there's trust and there's truth in this way of life of marriage and having the babies in the carriage. So the helpmate is not always the wife, but it's also the husband. And this goes for my father, this goes for all fathers who are fathers, right? So now the question goes, if the wife is the giver of life, now the question is, I said on my previous shows, what does that make the husband? But if you all don't know the answer, look at it like this. The husband is the helper of giver of life. You see that? And the reason why I say that, because that is how all you and I got here on this earth, through the thoughts of our parents who are divinely prepared to give life to us through our Father God Allah. Now, the thing that kind of like throws things off is when you have ones to bring the imbalance and the injustice to our brothers and sisters, and then trying to separate and use economics and jobs to divide families. This has happened to me. This has happened to you all those who this applies to. And do you know that this is what their plan was? And who they are? Who are they? They're the Rockefeller family. That's who they are. Yes. And I'm going to explain why. Because they're the ones who are in charge of the banking system worldwide. They're the one who decides who goes to war with who. So in order for you to go to war, you have to use finance and money to create war. Now, many fathers have served in the military, and a lot of them haven't. A lot of them served as a police officer. A lot of them served as a paramedic, fire department. You know what I'm saying? Doctors, lawyers, nurses, etc., etc. But what people don't understand is once you are obligated to that type of duty and that type of work, you have to abide by the laws and regulations. Not necessarily laws, but the statutes thereof. So once we understand those conditions and we sign on the dotted line that we have to be subservient to falsehood and keep the people sick and keep lying and deceiving the people, then what is the point of serving in the military or serving in the doctor's office and being a nurse and making everybody sick and ill? But the whole point is, it's all in the information we receive. Every time we receive something, some heartbreaking news, what it does to the mind and the heart is stress us out. And that's what their agenda is to stress us out. Now, once the economic system has collapsed, what ended up happening? People, jobs begin to be a little bit obsolete. That means that fathers have to go find work elsewhere because the jobs are not making enough revenue, or they just choose to pick on those specific people so that way they see that they're doing good and they climb into the top, and all of a sudden now they're about to crash. Money and finance is what brings a family together. It can either make your family better or make your family worse, depending on the situation. Now, if you can understand what I've been through my years and the reason for all this single parent home and all this other stuff, it puts a lot of strain, a lot of pressure on that single mother or single father, whether they still married or not. The problem is in our society that we have to do as we're told or else. Now that's a sign of communism right there. That's not a free thinking person. You have to do what I tell you to do, or else you're not going to get this. So instead of giving a person a free will, they're giving people options to either choose this or that, or you can't have both. So if a person can't have the free will to the full capacity to 100%, that makes them a slave. That's what it makes them. I'm just being honest with you. But I'm here to tell my brothers and sisters today that you do have a choice. You have a choice not to be called what you check on the application, as far as ethnicity or nationality is concerned. I got a lot of love for my brothers and sisters to say this and tell the truth, but I don't care what nobody else has to say, because I'm going to tell it like it is, whether people like it or not. That's what I know. So when we have these statute limitations and these conditions being put upon us, it not only puts a stress upon ourselves, but we are being enslaved to our work, because of the simple fact that we have to meet up a certain criteria of work. And when the oven gets too hot, people want to try to turn the oven off. And this type of line of work, depending on the work you do, you can't just turn the oven off. Not until you're told to do so. So this is where slavery begins. Slavery begins that you're told what to do, and you're not allowed to think. Suggestion box? I think not. You're being treated like a prostitute. The boss is the slaveholder or the supervisor. Supervisor is the one who put him in charge of the plantation, so that way you can stay working, he can collect riches, and you take less. Now, if you look at the economic system through the years, it doesn't make any sense why someone needs 2 or 3 incomes just to survive. It doesn't make any sense. People lose themselves in the cares of the world because they have no knowledge of law. Law covers everything. Law is legal. But what is not legal is law. But the brothers and sisters need to understand the conditions that, yes, you have a choice, but they're forcing it down the young baby's throats to make a choice, and that leaves the children in charge of the mother and father, where the mother and father can't choose them, they have to choose for themselves, such as you choose your gender. Again, that's penalty of perjury. Once a birth certificate is signed, a child is still underage, and they're minor, under 18, so they can't change their gender. That's penalty of perjury. I can't make it up. I'm gonna call it what it is. Your gender was already assigned to you at birth. So why is someone going to try to dictate to you in school that you have a right, a choice to be a boy or a girl? So what about those ones who are participating in opposite gender PE classes or basketball, sports, etc., etc.? You see what is going on right now? There's so much confusion that a lot of brothers and sisters don't see what's going on, but yet still they're accepting these teachings. Why? I don't know. But all I know, it has a lot to do with Sodom and Gomorrah. I know it has a lot to do with 2 kings, but I know that 2 men can't come together and reproduce themselves. I know that's what makes LGBTQ sterile. It's like you can't have someone else's cake and eat it too, because you haven't had your own cake. So when are the people going to start thinking that if you got a friend who is promoted as LGBTQ and they're okay with being around a man who dresses like a woman, they're ignorant. Anytime someone allows gangbanging going on, and a lot of the police officers accept it, and it's okay because that's how they get their payroll check. It's off of someone else's inconsistencies. Their ignorance of the law. This is why you have all these fast food joints, because it's convenient. And when you have these things that are convenient, it becomes detrimental to your health. But yet and still, my brothers and sisters out there don't see and don't understand the conditions thereof when you consume these things. When you consume evil, you become evil. This is why in the book of Matthew 6:24, where it says you cannot serve 2 masters. You're going to love the one and hate the other. Now, the one can be your falsehood. The one can be your truth. So if truth is the only thing that changes not, then why are we got ones talking about I'm black? I'm a colored, I'm an Afro-American, I'm African-American, Negro. What are you thinking? Why do you accept things that allude to slavery? But if you look at every nation, every nationality don't identify themselves with a color or the shade of skin or whatever it may be. They don't identify with that. They identify, oh, I'm Cuban, I'm from Cuba. Dominican Republic, I'm from Dominican Republic. I'm from Panama, I'm Panamanian. I'm Peru, I'm Peruvian. They don't identify themselves with a color, so what makes you different from them? And they have to uphold the constitutional law and answer to the names that represent your nationality. How come the Negro, blacks, and colors are not doing it? Because this is what they were taught by the slaveholder, the European. This is what's going on. You sit here and say all the stuff you want and say that your brother man Morris life is wrong, but no, you haven't even did your reference. You haven't even cross-referenced nothing. You haven't done your homework because you're still in the same state of mind that you were in when you were a young child. You were told that you were black. So where have you evolved your thoughts? Where have you exalted your thoughts to think outside the box and look at yourself in the mirror and look at a black piece of paper and see if you're close to that skin complexion? Last I checked, people with skin complexion are brownish color, reddish brown. Now I can't make it up, family. You people don't understand that the black folks are not even a nation. The so-called black people are inferior to the white people. The so-called white people are superior. You know why? Because that is what they demonstrated. But it's not true. So how you gonna call them white and then you gonna call yourself black? Do you know about slander and defamation of character? You can sue, but you have to put on a documentation that you prove that you have a nationality. Right? But again, a lot of people don't see what is truly going on. A lot of people don't see that the hardship they put upon themselves by wishful thinking, and when a man thinketh, so he is. When a man thinketh, so he be. When everyone's gonna grow up? When are people gonna understand the conditions that we're in? It's just the losers gonna change and pass away. So is your boyfriend gonna come assist you and help you get your children out of child protective services? No. Because boyfriend, girlfriend can't do nothing for each other on that level. If it's husband and wife, that's a different story. When are we going to start thinking, family? When are we going to acknowledge that there's so much falsehood around us that we don't even acknowledge what it is? We acknowledge some falsehood, but we ignore the others. That's the problem with the common people. They ignore it. They don't love it. They ignore it. As soon as you tell them they not a crayon color, then they start getting overprotective. They protected the slaveholder. Because whatever master said, the subservients are ones who tend to protect the slaveholder because of the title, and they should be proud of it. I ain't never met a black person a day in my life. I never met anybody who was the color of a crayon. But yet and still, my people will perish for a lack of knowledge. You must study yourself. You must study your condition. You must study your mindset, which is your behaviors. Your good behaviors and your bad behaviors. Your higher self and your lower self. Your high self-esteem, your low self-esteem. These things are very important. Once you study yourself, then everything is going to manifest itself. You're going to start growing. People are going to begin to love you. People are going to begin to love you based on who you are, your character. Your beacon light will be showing. You'll be glowing like the sun. You'll be glowing like the star and moon. Now, the question you want to ask yourself is, what am I doing to better my condition? How am I going to become a better thinker if I don't start understanding what nationality is and how it's relevant to law? A lot of people don't want to see it. But as your brother man Morris Life, I love you all dearly. This is why I come to the show. That's why I come on my channel. Because I have to speak this truth to you all. This is also for the children too. But one thing I never will understand is, why do my so-called Negro blacks and coloreds always identifying the people as nigga this, nigga that? Like, I never understood that. It's never a word of endearment. I don't care what nobody say. You gotta want to change your condition. You gotta stop wanting to use words that harm. People will get hurt behind these words. A lot of people choose not to partake in these words. And a lot of Caucasian European ones who are just don't like it either. And they will quick to beat someone down real quick. We have to start thinking about our future. We have to prepare for the catastrophe that's about to happen in the future. And if we're not ready, we're going to be swallowed up in a whirlpool full of drama. Then try to figure out how we're going to get ourselves out. I have to be honest like this because no one's going to deliver it to you. I have to deliver this information because this is what Allah put on my heart to do. Once we start thinking, and once we start understanding that nationality is the order of the day, then that's when the European powers that be going to be dethroned. Brothers and sisters, got a lot of thinking to do, a lot of preparation to do. First, you must prepare your heart and mind. It's very important. How are you going to repair your heart and mind, but you're going to jump into a marriage relationship and all you're going to do is going to self-fulfill you? Because you're looking for someone to save you? The Prophet Joel said it best. If I can't save you, then no one can. But if I get you to think you can save yourself. There's things I can make up and You know what I mean? But I just choose not to. We gotta take what we got and take it to consideration, take it to heart, and start making small changes to better ourselves. Well, all right. About to go into the chat. We got you, Islam, Heaven Eye. We got the Visible One, Islam, peace and blessings. Praise Allah for you too. We got Corby S'more. He says, where you drive? Driving home. And we got Ashvin, love from India. Yeah, Islam. I got love for India too. Praise Allah to India. I love my people from India. You guys are the best. You know, I got family from all over the world. You know what I mean? I can't forget about my Cambodian brother from Cambodia. My Tongan brother from Tonga. Samoa. Can't forget about them. Man, I love my Samoan brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? I love my people from North Central South America, including the so-called people blacks and colors. I love y'all too. Even though you don't act right sometimes, I still love y'all. Man, so many wonderful people around the world. I love y'all, I do. But push comes to shove, we gotta be able to speak to each other directly. So, I'm gonna put something out there. I'm still working on my quote of the day. I have to get everything organized, situated on my channel. So it'll be happening soon. But I know y'all been looking forward to it or whatever. But I said I'll give y'all some birdies. Some shorts on birdies. But I love birds. Birds have a way with different aspects of life. Wake up at the AM, they sing you a song. Literally. Well, family, all in all, everything you've done today, hopefully you made progress. It's not wise to take up on too much at one time, because you can hurt yourself. You stress yourself out. You pass your carnal form behind stress. While you're at work, just be the best person you can be. Just do the best you can do. You know what I mean? That's all you gotta do. And remember, you're the master of your craft. The stress don't kill you, you kill the stress. And this is the thing that goes on in the meaning of life. We go through our ups and downs, we go through our highs and lows, we go through these things for a reason. It's to teach us to be better people. To the women out there who are single mothers, my heart goes out to y'all. I understand. To the single fathers out there, my heart goes out to y'all. I understand. I know what it's like. But you gotta make the best of the condition that you already have. And look at the blessings you have received. So that way you don't go out there and do harm to others if you don't want it done onto you. Well, once we change our state of mind, then that's when the resurrection is a fact. Oh. It's been a beautiful warm day today. We tend to lose sight on things that's very important, like our life. Our health is our wealth, family. So what are you going to do to decide to change your condition? Sometimes we lose ourselves in worldly things to the point where we have no idea what we're doing. Consume, consume, consume. Well, family, we gotta do what we gotta do. We gotta stretch everything we got. We gotta find ways to make multiple money, finances, to be able to get what we need, the necessities. And if we don't sit down all day and make excuses, then we're the problem. And that's something that we got to do as individually and collectively. Children need the guidance. Guidance needs to come from mother and father. So once we understand where we go wrong at, then it's time to make a speedy reparation. That's what we should do. We gotta watch what's going on. Instead of drawing all this negativity to ourselves, going to the club and smoking reefers and causing harm to ourselves. But thinking about what can we do in every aspect of our life to make life easier. These things are very important. I gotta stay busy all the time. You gotta be very understanding of certain things in life. sometimes it's just best to just sit down and think and better our condition. Better your condition is not just a one-time thing. It's something that has to be practiced. And we're getting into we're at the 40-minute mark already. If you like the show, hit the like button. If you love the show, it's got plenty more videos, lives. What is it, Frederica? Hit me up on the Morris.life at yahoo.com. That's Morris.life at yahoo.com. Y'all can go in there and hit me up. Questions, comments, concerns. And I'll get back to y'all. Check my email every day from time to time. But yeah, please do. Please look into it. It's very important. There's things that we must do to be better. And the one thing to change is ourselves. Yep, so I'll be selling some merch soon, so I gotta get situated. So I need y'all to hit me up. So y'all take care of yourselves. Wherever you may be, take it one day at a time. Just don't rush into anything. It may sound good. What may sound good is not always good. I'll tell you something about traveling on the road, family. It's not easy. You gotta keep yourself highly occupied. You gotta keep your eyes open. No texting, no traveling. Because when another car hits another car, it's on. And they're gonna want a report based on what everyone's saying. Let's not intoxicate ourselves with poisonous drinks and poisonous food and all this other stuff. The meaning of life is going to be constant ups and downs, struggles and consequences and trials and tribulations. Until we understand those things, then we can grow up in our hearts and minds and y'all, this Light Patrol is on this morning. Dang. that police on my right side right there? This person's following like harassment or something. Oh, they put the light on. Yep, definitely responding to those people on the side of the road over there. Okay, I see we got Emmanuel John. It all starts with one thing. Yeah, it starts with one thing, definitely. It's changing yourself. Change. But the thing is, you can change it yourself. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make the change. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm telling him to change his ways. And no message could be any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make the change. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. So, me, I'm your brother man more life is like this. This is how I roll. And then I'm making this nice, sweet, plain and clear. I do not like people trying to tell me how to run my life. They may offer suggestions, but it'd be all good. Okay with that. Man, we are getting close. We are getting close to the hour. Before anybody does anything, there's only one thing they have to do is study themselves. I pray that everybody goes through their trials and tribulations and come out with their head held up. Not to be snooty, not to be think you better than that, but being humble through the trials and tribulations and making your fathers and mothers and mine stronger. Children can be a blessing, but children can be a curse. It all depends upon the mother or father who raises them. But it's truly a blessing to be here. You gotta stop doing things to hurt each other intentionally. Man, it's a long journey through life. And everything in life involves learning lessons. In order to bring justice, you gotta look at where you're messing up. What? Being alive is for the dead. needs to change? Yeah, everybody needs to change. Everybody needs a tune-up. Do I really run my life? That's a good question. Actually, I do. You have never seen running your own life entails. I don't know what you're saying, but the way you run your life is understanding the conditions. And once you understand the conditions and you understand that you're a slave to the system, in order to free yourself, you gotta know what to do, what not to do. You have to pretty much slowly and gradually put yourself in a situation where you're understanding law and where you're able to free yourself from Roman yoke and law of the democracy. The one who owns your social security number. Your social security number is the one that is your account number to your living trust, your fiduciary, etc., etc. My grandmothers don't have a birth certificate. Grandfathers don't have a birth certificate. Praise Allah, sure. They're born free people, but yet still they're slaves to the system. They're slaves to a system because they took upon the contract of getting married. That's what they did. And since they did that, now the state pretty much owns them. So once we start understanding these things, then you can be able to start freeing yourself from this contract, which is called the birth certificate. Manu John, if you don't, then you have no reason to drive this car. Get off and walk away. What are you talking about? There's a thing called right to travel if you don't know that. What you're saying is you're just talking blah, blah, blah. It's not my fault that you are subjected to this mental slavery, these contracts that you got yourself involved into. How many marriage contracts do you have other than your banking account, other than your job, other than your utility bill, your mortgage, your rent? I mean, come on now. You got a lot going on with you, and you're paying these people royally. True indeed. You're paying them, and you're paying them because you made a contract with them. You made an agreement. You gave this contract a marriage contract that you choose to obey. So with all that yip you talking about, I'm 10 steps ahead of what you already saying. So yes, I do have a right to travel. No, I don't need a license to travel. No, I don't need these things, because what it does is puts me back into the unconstitutional fold of being a servant to the democracy, not to the republic. What, a man doesn't need to be subjected to these things just to live. I don't know where you're getting your information from. It sounds like you don't know what you're talking about. You're just talking gibberish or something. That is what you're doing. You're talking gibberish. You talk about things that you don't even know. If you're trying to battle me, it's not going to work. You're not going to win. There's things that I know about that you don't know. I know far more than what you think I'm speaking on right now, that I'm already in the process of doing. And I think you should mind your business. Honestly. So since you are lost in the sauce, so who are you to say to me, how do you know that I don't run my own life? You have no proof. You're just speaking just to speak. You're trying to get a rise out of me. It's not gonna work. I don't run my life? Okay. But I'm not a Negro, black, and colored, though. I'm not a slave, though. I'm not a contract slave, though. You have no idea. Moorish American Muslim. It's your brother, man, Moorish life right here. And trust me, when I'm saying about Moorish life, yeah, I'm literally about that. That's who I am. That's what I be. Life. Moorish life. Not Negro. Dead. No, I'm not talking about that. Y'all slave minds be talking. You don't know what you're saying. I don't run my life. Then who runs it then? The slaveholder? What's his name? Who is he? So I can go talk to him. The president? No, it ain't him. Who runs my life then? Who dictates to me what I can and cannot do? Who dictates to me that I cannot go to my religious? That I can't go to my temple meetings? Who dictates to me about that? Last I check, I'm protected by the First Amendment of the Constitution. I'm an American national, bro. What are you talking about? You talk about things that you don't even know. You talk too much and you just don't shut up. You're just talking a whole bunch of yip. Here we go. We're going with the debate again. He wanted to debate. You are a product of the culture you were raised in. So I'm a product of the culture I was raised in. So I was raised in the hood, so that makes me a gangbanger, right? That makes no sense, bro. What are you talking about? If I'm a slave, then why I have this car? What are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea. You're just talking about stuff that doesn't make any sense. Democracy does not give a right to run your own life. Democracy, Second Continental Congress, slave state, state of Illinois, state of New Jersey, state of, this is a slave contract that your parents, your mom and pop signed. So that way you become a slave to the system. They give you a social security number, which is an account number. Come on now. Man, you just straight deaf, dumb, and blind. Man, you are banned. Yeah, you wish. Yeah, can't say nothing now, huh? You big dummy. Well, Islam, peace and blessings. I am outro. Y'all have a good night. I'm about to go home. Peace and love, Islam. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my God, and my salvation by night and by day. Who is Holy Prophet, Drew Ali. Ameen. Islam. I'm outro.